Okay, we need to get started so that we can end on time. Everybody can have a relaxing lunch. So if you would make your way to your seats and help your colleagues make their way to their seats. This is always the danger of giving folks breaks, particularly if they haven't seen each other in a while. It takes them a while to get back. I know everybody's excited to see folks you haven't seen in a while. But we want to do our very best to acknowledge our new family members. And so if everybody can make their way to their seat, that would be great. Oh, there's still a lot of empty chairs. So is it 10:38? Anybody have the time? Is it 10:38? Huh? 10:39. Okay, is everybody ready? Okay, so here we go. Shh. You know, many of the new faculty and classified professionals that will be introduced are brand new to Sacramento City College. Others are transitioning to new positions within the college. As you hear them being introduced, remind yourself of when you were first hired, whether it was in the recent past, or ancient history, or somewhere in between. What hopes did you have for yourself? What hopes did you have for yourself and for your new position? What did you allow yourself to dream? How is the present you fulfilling the dreams of the newly hired you? As you hear the words of our students, be brave enough to ask yourself, to what extent do I reflect their vision? To what extent is their vision reflected in me? To start us off, we're going to hear from Kimberly Ramos. So Kimberly is one of Sacramento City College's outstanding student leaders. She's an aspiring physician. You know, when our students aspire to be something more than they are now, to step into their full potential, our job is to see it for them. I see Dr. Ramos. She's shattering myths, she's breaking cycles, and she's shattering stereotypical thinking that has plagued brown and black people. I'm so proud to know you. Please help me welcome the future Dr. Ramos as she comes to the podium to share her message.
Now I gotta do this without crying. Buenos dias, familia. Good morning, fam. How you guys doing today? I'm standing on my tippy toes so I can see y'all. My name is Kimberly Alma Ramos, and I am a pre-med biology major. Thank you. This is my second term as Student Senate President, and I've had the opportunity to meet many of you throughout my time here at Sac City, and each and every one of you that I have crossed paths with has impacted my life in such an amazing way. So on behalf of the student body, I want to take the time to truly thank you all From staff, faculty, and administration, thank you for your continued support. The faculty, staff, and admin are also inspiring in their own ways. You are all very knowledgeable in the resources, events, and programs on campus. But something as simple as an informational email, flyers posted in your classrooms, or links posted on Canvas allows students to learn about the variety of ways students can succeed during their time here at Sac City. A few semesters ago, after straight failing an exam, the professor reached out to me because they noticed my grade dropping. They emailed me asking to come to office hours, so I did. We talked, got to know each other a little bit, and overall, I can say I gained trust in that professor. That one request for me to go meet them made me feel like I shouldn't be afraid to ask for help, and I felt the need to do better after that conversation. And so I did better. I aced the next exam. Now, imagine if that happened to all of our students. They ace every exam after an encounter with their professor. Imagine if each and every one of you did the same for the students that you come in contact with. The students that stop coming to class but are still enrolled. The students whose grade is slowly dropping throughout the semester. Those students are in dire need for someone to notice and help them, like me, without even realizing it. Kim Bayer, Haley Lepper, Mauricio Gonzalez, Michael Gutierrez, wishing him a speedy recovery, Gail Pittman, Kimberly McDaniels, Deborah Knowles, Tanya Rodriguez, Patricia Harris Jenkinson, Alexander Ischuk, Captain McPeak, Chief Savage, also known as Padrino, Paul Frank, and so many more professors and staff members that I have met throughout my time here in Sac City have taken the time to listen, encourage, support, and inspire me. So thank you. My calves are hurting. So for all of you in this room, I challenge each and every one of you to get to know your student's name and one thing that is special about them in the first week of classes. To continue to learn about your students throughout the semester and to meet with them one-on-one at least once this semester. I challenge you guys. Trust me, it will make the difference in their lives and it will make the difference in their grade. Bless you. Gracias, and thank you for your continued support. I wish you all the best of luck this semester. Thank you. And now I welcome to the stage Chris Jones.
I gotta remove this. I'm a performer. I'm sorry, I can't stand right there. All right. So, what's up, y'all? Y'all heard. My name is Christopher Jones. I'm a writing center tutor here, and I'm also an English and business management major. All right, so let's kick this into high gear. You know, like I said, I'm a performer, so I'm gonna show y'all how I perform. I'm gonna let y'all know who I am. So, all right. My name is Christopher Matthew Calvin Jones, and MC is my middle initials, and this is me speaking Los Rios officials. Like, real quick, I gotta ask, have you ever had a moment in your college career where you felt like the services just weren't clear? I got an ideal demonstration that I have prepared. Like, just listen real close, because we gotta make this real. So I hope y'all feel the same way I feel. The same way I feel? Y'all feel? Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me, though? Okay. I just wanted to make sure y'all was listening. I had to get y'all attention real quick, okay? All right, now that I know y'all listen, now I'm going to tell y'all my ideal school, all right? I'm going to go through my services and everything, all right? Now, looking back, I remember coming from high school thinking, man, will I ever find a school where I feel like I belong? Two sides always tugging and struggling to belong. The side that can only be understood by most students, and the side that can't even be fathomed by most staff. Like, no one ever really building a strong enough connection with me to really inspire me to accomplish all of my dreams. Like how does that feel? Like, I know some of y'all like probably felt that way in high school or something. I know some of y'all can feel me. Y'all feel the same way I feel? I can't hear y'all. Y'all feel the same way I feel? All right, thank you, okay. All right, so like, just going back, like it wasn't until I came to Sac City that I started meeting people who tried to understand me for me. Like, they didn't judge me. They pushed me to see the greatness in myself when I didn't even see it myself. They inspired me in ways I never thought possible. The staff try their best to understand me, and they do so by connecting with me through more than just my education. They connect with me through music, sharing struggles, or even just simply taking the time to get to know me. I don't mean they just get to know the person they see at school, but like they really get to know who I am, both inside and outside the campus. They go above and beyond to get to know who I am, both inside and outside of the campus. They go above and beyond to make me feel like I do belong. These are just a few exemplary qualities that some of the staff at SCC have displayed, and having people like them to look up to has helped me to bring out the best in myself on my quest for knowledge. Through them, I have gained more than just knowledge. I've gained purpose in turn. I'll be able to pass this on this sense of purpose on to not only my 5 younger siblings, but also to my entire community. So, the fact that this school has such a great staff must mean that it also has amazing services that are easily accessible by students, right? Right, okay. All right. Well, when it comes to my college, that is definitely true. SCC has many different programs on campus where you can get everything on campus done in like one place. Like, Rise, shout out for Rise, Writing Center is a great place also. Man, you get your food, you can get tutored. Oh man, what? All in one place? Ooh, Umoja? Y'all know about Umoja. What about Puente? Where else can black and brown students really feel welcome? Like, those are the places. So these aren't just some dry places that look like a doctor's office. It's places that resemble the living room of your favorite aunt or grandma. Y'all know how y'all aunt and grandma's houses be looking. Y'all know how y'all aunts and grandma's house looking and be all colorful and stuff. Yeah. I can talk to a counselor, use a computer if I don't have one, and even get help with my homework. I can do all of this in one social space, and the best part is I have more than just one of these places I can go to. Like I said, I already named off a bunch of them. No matter what lifestyle you live, you will be accepted into these programs without hesitation, and that's because they do not discriminate. Most programs even give out food because not everyone knows where their next meal is coming from. If it isn't enough that they have these programs, they also regularly advertise them in classes and on campus. Like, they literally be coming to our classrooms talking about these programs. So like, if anybody say they don't know about them, I don't know. Now moving on. So like, the easy access couldn't be possible without the help of the staff. But of course, there's a system that holds them both together, and it's the SEC community itself. Think about this. What happens if I'm in one of those social spaces and there is something that I can't get help with? What y'all think I gotta do? What's gonna happen? What you think I'm just gonna be like, nah, I can't get nothing done. Nope, can't get it done. Nah. The staff are literally just gonna go out of their way, be like, all right, here, I want to take you over here. Oh, that's financial aid. Come to financial aid with me. All right. Oh, I know this guy up over here. He can help you get signed up with these classes. I got you. Oh, you trying to get into the business program? Oh yeah, come on. I know this guy. Come on. That's a community. Like, a community, they work together collectively, and they do it to accomplish the task that the community needs. Like, they service the community. They make sure the community is good. Everybody is a family. It's more than just a community, Y'all know Lilo and Stitch. Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind, All right. Like, I never attended a school where I actually had staff that really represented me until I had gotten to SEC. The staff here don't all just come from the same lifestyles, and they aren't all the same color. The staff is diverse, and this is crucial to our growth, because it gives us students the chance to discover a lifelong mentor who not only understands us, but also the communities we came from. Having people like this is especially helpful when the staff is your professor, because it'll be the difference between you being judged or understood. My professors have never looked down on me because they see the value of my experiences, and they know that they are what makes me me. Not all professors are the best at representing their students, though, which is why once a week I host a 1-hour class where I teach professors who come from less diverse areas than the students they teach how to better connect to their students of color. Besides, who could teach a professor how to teach a student better than a student themselves? Am I right? Come on. And that doesn't just go for college, that goes for high school, elementary. Like, we should have like kids be teaching like why do we got professors teaching professors how to teach students? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, and then this just goes to show, like, no one, of course, because not all generations are going to want to learn the same way, which is why we have to continue to evolve education as our country evolves. All right, so that's the end of my stuff, but I would like to welcome Courtney Mack, Classified Senate Vice President, to the stage.
So Norman is on my list because I am not a vice president. I am the president. Let's get that right. Mr. Lorenz, we will talk later. So I am very honored and privileged to be a 2-term president. I'm going to say that not every president should necessarily be a 2-term president. You can, I'm just saying, infer whatever you would like from that. And if you found that comment offensive, remember my name is Kerry Bray. Last name is spelled B-R-A-Y, Kerry Bray, if you found that comment offensive. All right, let me try to stay on script a little bit, maybe. Well, before I want you guys to get a load of my outfit because I look adorable today. So, take it in. I call this Martine Ramirez hair, okay? And this is a Kim Goff-inspired outfit. You see it? You guys see it, right? It's very John Travolta Saturday Night Fever. Yeah? You see it? Kim Ramos didn't understand that, so could somebody explain it to the students? You can tell who's over 50 because they thought that was funny, which I'm not over 50. I only know because my parents knew, so. All right, so I just want you to know I am your student. I'm a woman of color, in case you were wondering what I was. I'm a woman of color. Okay, I know some people were confused, so I'm just going to come out. I'm black. There, I said it. I'm a woman of color. I came from a low-income family. In fact, that's me being generous. I came from a no-income family. Both my parents are disabled. Actually, I hate that word. They're not disabled. They're differently abled. I'm trying to explain this to you without going too deep. But I am the Sac City College student. This is who you're going to get. For me, I'm local. I went to Mariloma High School. When I graduated, I actually received a track scholarship, and I know some of you are like, oh, she was clearly a shot putter. Clearly. I was not a shot putter, I was a sprinter. That was about 50 pounds ago, but I was actually a sprinter. So I went straight off into a 4-year institution. Everything was paid for. I was an athlete. I didn't know anything about financial aid. I didn't need to. Why would I? They're paying for everything. This is great, right? In April of 2000, don't do the math to try to figure out how old I am, don't worry about it. In April of 2000, I tore my hamstrings hurdling. A complete grade 3 tear. Any athletic trainers in the room know what I'm talking about. I think our nursing staff knows what I'm talking about. Complete grade 3 tear is your career is over. Do you know what happens to an athletic scholarship when you get hurt? It goes away. It goes away. So my complete first year was paid for. My second year, I got hurt in April. Do you know what happens on March 2nd? Priority deadline for what? Financial aid. So guess who didn't do a FAFSA? Guess who didn't get all that free money even though she had a terrific GPA? I didn't. So why the hell would I stay in college? Why would I do that? I'm a first-generation student. I don't know. I don't know about these things. So why would I stay? The reason I stayed is because I had a professor that said, "You're brilliant, you need to be here. You're a scholar, you need to be here. I know it's going to be tough, but Courtney, you need to be here." Because my college president knew my freaking name. My professors were like, "Girl, why were you not in class today?" "I saw you getting lunch, so where were you this morning?" I never miss lunch. I never miss any meal, actually. The reason I stayed, even though I had to fund my second year with student loans, is because people knew me and people cared. I am a representation of what our students are. I need you to know our students. I need you to care. That's what I challenge you with. I want you to know your students' names. And I'm not talking to the faculty. Classified, I'm talking to you too. How many times does a student come to the counter and you say, "What's your student ID number?" How about, "Hello, I'm Courtney, how are you?" "What's your name?" "Chris, what's your student ID number? How can I help you today, Chris?" "Chris, how's your semester going?" Okay, Chris, it sounds like, let me refer you to the RISE program. It sounds like you could use some help. Let me refer you to the EOP&S program. Okay, Chris, I'm gonna try to follow up with you in a week. Is that okay? I need you to know the students and I need you to care. Because if we don't, Arizona State Online will care. Sierra College will care. University of Pacific will care. Other people will care. I'm not losing students. You need to care. Okay? Sorry, that got real militant, didn't it, girl? Ooh. I'm surprised Chief Savage didn't come up here and say, "Whoa, girl, you need to sit down." Okay. So, in closing, I'm going to leave you with a line from one of the greatest poets out there, the Black Eyed Peas. I implore you to be different, be nice, just smile. I promise it might change your life. Whoop! Because I'm going to butcher names, I'm going to let my vice president, because I'm the president, Norman. I'm the president. Me, president. I'm going to bring my vice president, Paul Reynard, on stage to read the names. To the newly hired and newly promoted classified, make sure when you cross the stage, you go all the way down to the end. And we can save the applause until they're all up here because there are a ton of them.
Okay. First we have Kayla Anaya. Khaled Banks. Vasil Benedeychuk. Christine Clay. Guadalupe Duran. Melanie Frazier. Parissa Hassani. Candy He. Wendy Hine. Rihanna Johnson. Azizula Karahoki. Melissa Kekaku. Lily Knobloch. Andrei Kovalenko. Hunter Lagenauer. Fernanda Linares. David Lockwood. Regina Loaiza. Tanner Phelps. Vivian Quiros Hickey. Yolanda Robinson. Joe Rodriguez. Michael Sathi. Jennifer Stracht. Kate Tarp. Madeline Thompson. Jeremy Sang. Pam Tuza. Harold Williams. Rico Wood. And Sadat Zarek.
Give the newly hired and promoted classified another round of applause. You can exit over that way. Just remembered I am your ruler and overlord. Remember that? So next up, I'm going to actually bring one of my students to the stage, the man, the myth, the legend, Obi-Wan Kenobi. His name is actually, oh goodness, I'm gonna try, Obi, I'm gonna try, baby. Alexander Obi Obadufuna.
Oh, there's a lot of people. Yeah, it's like kind of scary. Can you hear me, guys? All right. Good morning. How are you guys doing? All right. So I have a speech. Okay. I entered Sac City to seek purpose, a role in my community and a place in the society. So in the ideal Sac City, I'm not asked to simply pick a major or pick a job option, but instead I'm asked, what issues in your community do you want to solve? What solutions do you want to create? My education and all the learning that follows is driven by those answers. My learning is focused, goal-oriented, and project-based. I can clearly see how every lecture, every lesson plan, every assignment is tied to helping me create solutions for my community. I am able to move through stages of my education without unnecessary barriers, and every stage is meaningful in my pursuit of purpose and change. In the ideal Sac City, I'm taught how to research complex social and historical causes to understand the situations and issues of today. I'm directed how to use math and statistics to understand and evaluate data presented to me. I am coached to how to analyze and write to better interact and communicate amongst a host of channels and people. Learning is intersecting knowledge and skills across disciplines to yield solutions. In the ideal Sac City, my professors and I work together. They offer guidance, feedback, and point out ideas and information I had not considered yet. And they create experiences that invite me to collaborate with my peers. My professors establish safe spaces for me and other students to be expressive and question without any fear of retribution. Our learning is collaborative and collective. We use all of our combined expertise to reach goals. Learning is not isolated. Knowledge is constructed in community. And finally, in the ideal Sac City, I learned through trial and error and see revision as an opportunity to improve, not an opportunity to be teared down. Mistakes and shortcomings highlight room for growth and are not punished nor used as tools of shame. Success is measured merely on the fair assessment of one's work rather than the demographic they fall under. Evaluations from peers are just as needed as many students at Sac City, just like me, value what our classmates think as much as our professors. So as we start a new year, let's all try to create this ideal Sac City. Thank you. At this time, I have the honor to introduce Gail Pittman, the Academic Senate President.
I like the podium, so I'm going to stand behind it. I'm not going to do the stage thing. My shoes are not as cool as Courtney's. My spoken word skills are nowhere like Chris or Alex's, and I don't know if I'm all that in a bag of Legos. But I am your Academic Senate President, Gail Pittman, and I'm very grateful to be here, and welcome all of you. So I have a few tasks to try to accomplish in a very short period of time. I want to make a few brief introductions. I have a thing or two I want to say, and then I want to make many, many more introductions that are far more important. That's really the reason I'm up here. First, what I'd like to do is introduce my colleagues on the Academic Senate. First, I'd like to introduce the most excellent, Lori Petit, our Academic Senate Vice President. So Lori, if you could stand. Sandra Guzman, our Academic Senate Secretary. Troy Myers, our Academic Senate Past President. And then somewhere in the audience, we have a very rare appearance from Ginny May, who is a representative on the Academic Senate for California Community Colleges, the state body that involves all of our Senate work, and she serves as the treasurer. And then last but not least, I'd like to introduce Annette Barfield, who is our LRCFT president. So she's not a Senate representative, but we work closely together. So I wanted to take a few minutes and share with you an experience that I had this summer. So I traveled, I worked a whole lot more than I thought I was going to work, but I worked a lot. And I also had an opportunity to be my alter ego and go to a writing conference. So for those of you that don't know, outside of my work here at Sac City, I also write books for children and adolescents. And that's a whole other conversation about how I find time to do that and what kind of, anyway, that's like a whole other story. But I went to a writing conference earlier this month, and one of the keynote speakers at that conference was Renee Watson. I don't know if any of you have ever read any of her books. She is a young adult writer. She is African American. She is also, probably one of her more well-known books is a novel that came out a couple of years ago called This Side of Home. She is also the executive director of a nonprofit that she co-founded that essentially bought Langston Hughes's home and has now been in the process of transforming it into an artist's hub, reaching out and in an attempt to reflect and amplify the voices of people who are marginalized, most commonly Black and brown people. And so she was one of the keynote speakers. And one of the things that she did in her speech was ask all of us to come back to our why we do what we do. And I'll say, first of all, that I've heard that a million times in a million different conferences. I've heard it at work-related conferences, when I go to different professional development events for Sac City or off campus. I hear that often in my travels. But there was something about the way that she said it and the way that she presented it that kind of resonated in a different way. And it made me really think about the fact that I don't think it's just here at Sac City that many of us are being asked to reflect on our why. I think it is everywhere. I think we're in a time of enormous political tension, conflict, disagreement, uncertainty, insecurity. I mean, the fact, honestly, that we started off this morning at 8 o'clock with a training about, where to locate the exits and how to get out, and, like that speaks volumes to that. And I think that all of us are really being challenged with coming back to what our why is. And so I'm gonna put that out to all of you. I know that all of us getting up here are saying, I have a challenge for you. Well, guess what? I have a challenge for you. And that challenge is for you not just to think about what your why is, but actually to sit down and write it down, or write until you can come to your why, about why do you come to work every day at Sacramento City College? Why do you do the job that you do? Why do you teach in your classroom? Why do you serve students? Why do you play the role that you play at this campus? And if you can't connect the work that you do here at City College with your why, then you've got some work to do. You've got an issue to try to figure out. I would hope that everything that you do at this college and everything that you do for our students comes back to that why. And that the why reflects the why of the students as well. All of the students have a why when they come here. They may not be able to say it very clearly. They may not be able to write it down and communicate it in a very clear way. But somewhere deep down in their soul, there's a why that brought them here to Sacramento City College and is keeping them here at City College. And if our why can meet with their why, then we're golden, right? So that's what I wanted to say to all of you. Now that's my less important task. My far more important task today is to introduce all of the new faculty. And I have to tell you that when I came into Rada North 258, which is a room that I am in far too often, earlier this week, and saw a room full of new faculty, it's one thing to see all their names on paper. It is another thing to actually see them as a group, as a cohort. I got emotional. I mean, it just is so incredible to have all of you here at Sac City College. We are so excited to welcome you. I feel personally honored to be able to welcome you here. And so without further ado, I'd like to ask Lori Petit and Annette Barfield to come up and help me. We got a lot of people, so buckle up. This is going to take a minute. And I have some very strict instructions for all of you. And I want to warn you, this is the way we'll kick off this year, is that there are folks at Sac City College that find out the hard way what happens when you don't listen to the Academic Senate President. So I'm going to ask you to listen to the Academic Senate President. I'm going to read names fairly quickly because we have a lot of them. So I'm not going to dwell and have long pregnant pauses or anything like that. I am going to ask you to hold your applause. So I really mean it. Hold your applause. It doesn't mean that we don't love you when we're not applauding individually for you. Once everybody gets up on, and I'm going to continue to read names even if you're still making your way up on the stage, just because, again, there are a lot of you. So the folks that I call up, go as far down the stage as you possibly can. And then here's my real directive that I want to do. Once we get everybody up on stage, I want all of you to applaud so loudly that Michael Gutierrez can hear it in his house down the street. You with me on that? Okay, I think we can do it. His house isn't that far away, and I know you all can get loud. So save your energy don't do the in-between thing. Save your energy. We'll do it all at the end. So am I doing this? That would be great. Oh, you can do it from there. That's super cool. That's how that works. Jason Adkins, Assistant Professor of Art. Up. What happens when you don't listen to the Academic Senate President? Bad things. Trust me, there's people in this room that know. Go ahead. Als Amabalala, Assistant Professor LTT Biology, teaching anatomy and physiology. Claudio Alvarado, Assistant Professor of Nursing. Oh, so you're bending the rules, you're not applauding. Tanya Atkins, Assistant Professor Chemistry. Andre Bazos, Assistant Professor Mathematics. Jennifer Bornstein, Assistant Professor Economics. Millie Burns, Assistant Professor Physical Therapy. Fernando Cantillo, Assistant Professor Computer Information Science. Chris Castagna, Assistant Professor Geography. Ainalka Keaton, Assistant Professor Mathematics. Ted Ladadi, Assistant Professor LTT Biology. David Delaney, Assistant Professor Administration of Justice. Marcus Gales, Assistant Professor and Head Wrestling Coach, Athletics. Josephine Ganas, Assistant Professor, Dental Hygiene. Aiden Hernandez Chaydez, Counselor, Counseling. Reggie John Giel, Assistant Professor, Business. I'll let that one slide a little bit. Jordan Jew, Public Service Librarian, Library. Brianne Lake, Assistant Professor, Dental Hygiene. George Lamb, Assistant Professor, Economics. Frank Luera, Assistant Professor, Accounting. Lori Owens, Assistant Professor, LTT Nursing. Will Perea, Assistant Professor, LTT Mathematics. Michelle Policeno, Assistant Professor, Mathematics. Alexia Poon, Women's Soccer Head Coach, LTT Athletics. Robert Ramsey, Assistant Professor, Mathematics. Hector Rodriguez, Assistant Professor, LTT Mathematics. Mark Scott, Assistant Professor, Administration of Justice. Wandi Megan Shiwa, Assistant Professor, Chemistry. Emile Tafua, Counselor, Rise. Jacqueline Vargas Oñate, Counselor, Counseling. Nancy Wallace, Public Service Librarian, LTT Library. Terrence Yee, Assistant Professor, LTT Mathematics. Taladette Kim Rivera, I know we're running out of room up here. You can like overlap and scooch and do what we got to do here. Taladette Kim Rivera, Counselor, Disabled Students Programs and Services. And last but not least, Kaya Davis, Counselor, Disabled Program Students and let me start over. Kaya Davis, Counselor, Disabled Students Programs and Services. So we got a lot. All right, now I want to hear it. That was a Sac City welcome. That's how we roll here. Thank you all. I'm so grateful to have all of you here. You can go back down now if you want. And I'll give you a second to make your way down, however you can get down. And at this time, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Sylvia Nolasco.
I'll wait till they get off the stage. I don't know yet. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So as y'all heard, my name is Sylvia. Nice to meet y'all. Okay, let's begin. In the Ideal College, events take learning beyond the classroom into the quad, the auditorium, cultural centers, and the community. My professors see us in the cafeteria and stop by to ask us what we thought about the class and invite us to plan projects that activate our education. We plan mural projects and collaborate to paint them. Some are small, so it's just me and my friends painting, but some are huge and take the effort of a lot more people. We invite students, especially ones that don't see themselves as artists, to leave a small mark because everybody is welcomed. We plant gardens and flowers and help maintain the natural beauty of the campus. We connect with the grounds team. We get to exchange what our family taught us about gardening, farming, and our connection to the earth. We have community days like in April when we invite elementary school students to our campus to celebrate El Día del Niño, Children's Day. We host booths that introduce our learning in fun, interactive ways. We take on the role of big brothers and sisters to introduce higher learning in a way that sparks interest, laughter, and excitement. We have food fairs where we show off our family's cooking and compete about who makes the best dish. The competition is fun, but the best part is learning about the different dishes people make, where they come from, or how they make them. My favorite part is listening to my friends share stories and laugh about how excited their families were to help them with this project. My own mother said, "Con esto sí te puedo ayudar." This I can help you with. We host our outdoor movie nights in the Quad Friday nights. We organize sports tournaments for Saturday mornings. We organize bailes, dances to socialize. And in November, we host an Indigenous Peoples Dinner for the community. In the Ideal College, we not only focus on our education, but we're also empowered beyond the classroom. Thank you. Can we give a welcome to Andre Coleman, Senior Leadership Team Chair.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the SLT, which is our senior leadership team, I want to wish you a wonderful academic year. And I have the wonderful opportunity of being the chair for this committee. And this is a committee, a constituency group comprised of our deans, our managers, our vice presidents, and the president. And so I have the opportunity this morning to introduce our new managers. And so I'm going to ask Albert to come up and help me out. Is that correct? Albert's going to be my Vanna White of sorts. I just couldn't resist it. I'm sorry. I don't have my book. All right, and we are really behind schedule, so I've been instructed to make it quick. So I will do like Gail and say the names quickly. You're going to do like Gail requested. You're going to withhold your applause until the end. Okay, let's do it, folks. Up first, Rakia Bates. Come on up. Davin Brown, Vice President of Student Services. And no disrespect to Rakia, but she is the Dean of Counseling. So I'm sorry, retention and persistence, excuse me. I missed that part of it. Rosana Chavez Hernandez, Grant Project Director for the HSI grant. Andrea Gaitan, Dean of the Davis Center. Robin Ikagami, Dean of Language and Literature. You heard her earlier. Patty Leonard, Dean of Humanities and Fine Arts. Y'all ain't following the rules very well, but that's okay. You've seen her around here before, but she has come back like bell bottoms, Jenny McReynolds. Associate Vice President of Instruction. I couldn't resist that one either. And last but not least, Ashu Mishra. And thankfully you're not wearing them. Ashu Mishra, Dean of the West Sacramento Center. All right, if you would join me in welcoming these new additions to our SLT. Thank you, folks. Tyler.